China, an upper-middle-income developing country in East Asia as divided by the World Bank, is the world's second-largest country, which is just behind Russia. It covers approximately 9.6 billion square kilometers of land area, with a total population of 1.364 billion. According to the World Bank, 46% of China's population is rural population, which refers to people living in rural areas divided by national statistical offices. One of the major health concerns is over one-third of rural China is lack of access to clean drinking water. That means one-third of you will be drinking the dirty water in front of you. According to the Centers for Diseases Control and Prevention (CDC), unsafe water, inadequate sanitation, or insufficient hygiene is associated with 88% of diarrhea cases worldwide. In these places, people have poor awareness towards hygiene and health, allowing livestock and animals or even sick people defecate in or near a water source. This contaminates the water source with feces. Other people may use the contaminated water for drinking or food preparation, while farmers may use the contaminated water to irrigate the crops. As a result, the families in rural areas eat and drink the contaminated food and water. This leads to the transmission of diarrhea. One of the health concerns brought by diarrhea is the problem of dehydration. Diarrhea may cause the excessive loss of water and minerals which are essential for supporting our growth, like sodium and potassium. A chronic dehydration will damage the kidney and its function, which seriously increase the risk of having kidney stones. Also, dehydration may cause muscle damage and cause a high chance of having constipation. Besides, patients may feel depressed or anxious when suffering from diarrhea. It is even more serious when complications of diarrhea occurred. According to WHO, there is certainly no health when there is no mental health. In fact, about 1 billion people in our country are still plagued by diarrhea. To be specific, the overall incidence rate of diarrhea in the rural areas is 0.59 per person year. To be more and more specific, the incident rate in villages without water sanitation improvements is 1.42 per person year. Compared with the villages with the improvements, it is about 5.6 times higher. Therefore, once again it is shown that water sanitation is closely related to diarrhea. So how bad could diarrhea affect our people? Apart from the aforementioned above, according to China's CDC, the disability-adjusted life year, DALY, of diarrhea to the rural population is 0.2638 per thousand people year. More importantly, diarrhea is seriously affecting the under 5 children. It contributes to 4.9% of the under 5 children mortality, and the overall prevalence of childhood diarrhea was 80% in 2001. Well, luckily, it is reduced to 7.4% in 2005. Besides individual health concerns, high prevalence of diarrhea actually impacts a lot on the country. From the economic perspective, it reduces the productivity of the working labor. People can't work when being infected with diarrhea. The available working population will be greatly reduced, especially in rural areas, since people mostly earn their livelihood through farming, which demand labor force a lot. Also, the diarrhea increases the medical expenses of the locals. It puts great financial burden on the individual family, as they do not really earn a lot each month, around RMB 1,690 per year. Medical expenses on medication may contribute to a large proportion of their income. From the social perspective, the high prevalence may cause social depression. As diarrhea is a communicable disease, the high prevalence may pose a threat on the society, and residents may be afraid of being infected. Moreover, the high prevalence of diarrhea will increase the demand and workload of healthcare workers. Most doctors in rural villages are barefoot doctors, who are farmers received basic medical training and works in rural villages. However, they do spend half of their life on farming. Actually, we've interviewed a Chinese official. Let's see how she said.
In fact, our Ministry of Water Resources have promoted different kinds of primary healthcare programs previously for rural areas to help the rural areas of Western China.
created using Powtoon.